My name is Peter. This is my wife, Kelly. We have 2 sons in college and a little dog, Lily, and a little cat named Coco.
And this was a big year for us because we celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary.
It's 30 already?
He's a very funny guy.
Well, I was first diagnosed in January of 2014, but what happened was I thought I had a pinched nerve in my neck because my hand seemed a little wonky. So I went to see my general practitioner, and she told me that I should go see a neurologist. So I went and saw my neurologist, and it turned out that I had Parkinson's. It didn't seem real. It seemed like it couldn't be because I felt good. I'd always exercised, and I was still exercising.
Well, when Peter came home and told me about the diagnosis, we were matter of fact about it. We really said, okay, well, what do we do? The neurologist was very reassuring. Her demeanor and her level of expertise, presented it in a very matter-of-fact way so that I don't think it was as devastating to us.
The treatment that my doctor suggested that we started with was levodopa carbidopa, which worked fairly well for quite a while. I had no idea about off times till I went to some meetings online with some of the organizations that my doctor had suggested I get involved with and talk to the people there. And they were having a presentation about off times. And I suddenly realized that I was having the off times.
I think that we knew things were happening. We just hadn't identified
I didn't know what
them.
it was. When I was having an off episode, it would kind of, the whole thing, like it would be the whole arm would start moving. And it's embarrassing, frankly. So it's something where you would be sitting somewhere and you'd stick it behind your back, which didn't do much. But if it's moving and shaking, it's
noticeable.
It's noticeable. It was kind of upsetting because you thought you were doing everything that you could do, and it wasn't working the way it had been, and you were having a situation where you were having an off time, and your body was doing something that you didn't want to do. Your tremors were getting more pronounced. So when I spoke to my doctor about it, my neurologist about it, what the doctor said to me was that she wanted me to continue with the medications that I was already taking, but to add NOURIANZ. What my doctor told me to do was to start it with a 20 milligrams. We ended up upping it to 40 milligrams. I take it first thing in the morning, which is very convenient. It works for me. It works for my schedule.
Made it easier for us to plan things as well.
Well, my personal experience is that I have not had experienced any side effects from taking NOURIANZ. That might not be typical of every person who uses it.
The most common side effects of NOURIANZ include uncontrolled movements, dyskinesia, dizziness, constipation, nausea, hallucinations, and problems sleeping, insomnia. These are not all the possible side effects of NOURIANZ. Individual patient results may vary. Keep watching for more important safety information about NOURIANZ.
What I would tell caregivers is to take it one step at a time, because you're going to have hard times, but if you address the problem in front of you as best as you possibly can, and then the next problem you address as best as you possibly can, you'll just keep finding solutions or the best possible solution.
It would be so easy to become overwhelmed when you think about the long run. So it's easier to focus on what you have in front of you and just attack it gradually.
If you have Parkinson's, and you find that you're having off time, I would strongly suggest you talk to your doctor.
What is NOURIANZ? NOURIANZ is a prescription medicine used with levodopa and carbidopa to treat adults with Parkinson's disease, PD, who are having off episodes. It is not known if NOURIANZ is safe and effective in children. Important safety information. Before you take NOURIANZ, tell your healthcare provider about all your medical conditions, including if you have a history of abnormal movement, dyskinesia, have reduced liver function, smoke cigarettes, are pregnant or plan to become pregnant. NOURIANZ may harm your unborn baby, are breastfeeding or plan to breastfeed. It is not known if NOURIANZ passes into breast milk. You and your healthcare provider should decide if you will take NOURIANZ or breastfeed. Tell your healthcare provider about all the medicines you take, including prescription and over-the-counter medicines, vitamins, and herbal supplements. NOURIANZ and other medicines may affect each other, causing side effects. NOURIANZ may affect the way other medicines work, and other medicines may affect how NOURIANZ works. What are the possible side effects of NOURIANZ? NOURIANZ may cause serious side effects, including uncontrolled sudden movements, dyskinesia. Uncontrolled sudden movements is one of the most common side effects. Hallucinations and other symptoms of psychosis. NOURIANZ can cause abnormal thinking and behavior, including being overly suspicious or feeling people want to harm you, paranoid ideation, believing things that are not real, delusions, seeing or hearing things that are not real, hallucinations, confusion, increased activity or talking, mania, disorientation, aggressive behavior, agitation, delirium, decreased awareness of things around you, unusual urges, impulse control or compulsive behaviors. Some people taking NOURIANZ get urges to behave in a way unusual for them. Examples of this are unusual urges to gamble, increased sexual urges, strong urges to spend money, binge eating, and the inability to control these urges. If you notice or your family notices that you are developing any new or unusual symptoms or behaviors, talk to your healthcare provider. The most common side effects of NOURIANZ include uncontrolled movements, dyskinesia, dizziness, constipation, nausea, hallucinations, and problems sleeping, insomnia. These are not all the possible side effects of NOURIANZ. Talk to your doctor to find out if adding NOURIANZ is right for you. To learn more, visit NOURIANZ.com.